I'm sure many of you here was at one point unable to finish your breakfast, lunch or dinner. Whether you want to eat your lunch, breakfast or dinner or you don't want to eat it, you don't finish it and then your parents come over your shoulder saying, you know, there are kids starving in Indonesia, Sudan and my mom's favorite country, Somalia. But have they ever mentioned India? Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Gavaliers and guests.
Good evening.
Have you noticed when you walk into a restaurant that serves buffet, you think to yourself, I'm gonna have some of this salad, some of this soup, some of this rice, some of this bread, etc. You think you're gonna have a lot of food because you're hungry and you're overwhelmed from all the food around you. But at the end, you're stuck in a situation where you cannot finish what you started. And obviously, the restaurant has to get rid of the food that's left because they can't serve it to the other customers. Now think about it like this. It's not just you that goes into a restaurant with a similar mindset. At least 50% of the customers coming in will be thinking like this. So what does a restaurant do with all this leftover food? They can't just pack it up and think, oh, I'll just reheat this, and serve it to my new customers tomorrow. As an individual, you may not realize how much your actions impact you. Collectively, the food you're wasting is not a meager amount. You can see overfilled trash cans and garbage strewn around your streets, and the environment overall is just filthy and gross. Now before I move on, can I get a raise of hands on how many people here wake up to their siblings screaming or shouting or your parents screaming at you? Many of us, and I'm pretty sure you don't enjoy it. But in the future, if we don't take certain responsibilities, we could end up waking up to the smell of rotten eggs and banana peels. And you can decide if that's worse or not. But how does food wastage really affect us? The Economic Times conducted a survey and found out that in January 2018, rupees 88,800 crore worth of food is being wasted per year, and that's only in India. That's almost 244 crore rupees worth of food per day. However, the irony here is that despite all this food wastage, the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, estimates that around 190.7 million people are malnourished. That's almost 15% of the whole Indian population. And most of those kids are the same ages as you and me. As of now, India's global hunger rank is 103, and that's only among 119 countries. Now you might think the food you're wasting is a small amount, but what you're wasting could be enough to save someone's life or could be a full meal to someone else. India wastes about 40% of all its fresh produce products before it reaches the consumers. This means lost income for the farmers and higher prices for the consumers. And this is called food insecurity. Food insecurity is when you don't have a reliable source of affordable and nutritious food. And the government has tried multiple ways to solve this food insecurity problem. The government usually hosts a lot of programs to solve this. Some examples are the Midday Meal Program, the National Food Security Program, the Prime Minister Yojana Program, and much more. But all of these have failed to achieve their goal due to corruption, sadly. But there is one way to eradicate food insecurity, and that's by cutting the inefficiencies from getting the food from the farmer to the consumer. So in order to do this, the state government needs to invest more into the agriculture sector, which means investing more into agriculture productivity, food storage, and infrastructure. especially in the weaker sections of society, to make sure everyone gets affordable and nutritious food. This means, for example, the government can store items, foods from certain seasons for future use. And if there's good road and rail connectivity, these foods could be transported to far places for a very cheap amount. Poverty alleviation should also be upscaled and developed so that the weaker section of society can get affordable and nutritious food. But everything I said right now is what the government can do. And we can't do anything about it except spread awareness. But what can we do to solve this issue? It's simple. Only take what you can finish and finish what you take. Thank you.